So with Newcastle quite close to Premier League safety, I thought I'd start looking ahead a little bit towards next season and thinking about the squad and what might need improving. Let's start with the goalkeeper position. So obviously, Dubravka is our number one goalkeeper. I think that he is a solid keeper. I think that he's proven that he's probably worthy of remaining our number one keeper at least next season and see how that goes. It depends how much of a jump we can make next season in terms of standard and level as to whether we view Dubravka differently in say 12 months time or so. But for now, I'm really happy with Dubravka being the number one goalkeeper. Behind him, I think we need a better backup than Darlow and that sort of thing. So I think I could see some possibility of a better number two coming in to give Dubravka a bit more competition. But overall, it's not too bad. Moving on to defence, we've obviously improved the defence quite a bit already. And, with the likes of Dan Burn, who's coming in and been fantastic, and Target, and obviously Trippier, who, for me, will probably be the club captain next year. So we've got a good core there if we sign Target. Obviously, he's on loan at the moment, but the chances are we might sign him, I think. Be happy with him as a left-back. He's certainly an improvement on what we've had previously. So if you think about next season, if we are a Premier League team as a stepping stone towards, becoming great, then I think Target is a perfectly acceptable left back. And I think Trippier obviously will be a great servant for the club for 3-4 years, however long he's here. And his quality, isn't he? He's raised that standard already. I think Dan Burn looks good. He has made one or two mistakes, if we're being ultra critical, that have cost us stuff. But overall, he's been immense, and I love him. And I think he's really stepped up, and he will be one of our centre backs next season. Alongside him, we've had Cher playing quite a lot, and that's fine. And I think Cher will be a good squad player. But I really think that if we want to take that next step up the league, we need better central defenders. So I expect us fully in the summer to buy one or two more defenders. And I think Botman seems to be the one that everyone's keyed in on. It sounds like he was ready to move in January potentially. If the money's right, he'll come. So that's quite exciting. He's playing at a high level, and I think he will come in and do a good job. So for me, central defence is one of the key areas still, and I'd like to see a bit more strength and a bit more strength in depth there. So it wouldn't surprise me if we actually signed two central defenders. And you need a squad, so you can't just rely on having two really good central defenders. You need 3 or 4 really good central defenders. And I think some of the players that are there can play their part in that, like Cher. I think he'll be there, and he won't start every game next season, but he'll come in and he'll probably do a good job when he is about. Moving on to midfield then. Midfield's really interesting for me because I feel like I've said for so long this season that we needed a box-to-box midfielder. We needed... The midfield was weak in the central areas, which is why we were losing so many games, because we just couldn't control games. And then all of a sudden, Eddie Howe has somehow managed to squeeze a hell of a lot out of Shelvey. We're starting to get stuff out of Willock as well that we weren't getting in the first half of the season. And then Joe Linton has just been the absolute revelation of the season, probably going to become player of the season. And he has been that box-to-box midfielder that we've needed. So who knew we had him in the squad all this time? And going from strength to strength is fantastic. We've then brought in Bruno, who you can just tell is a class act and is going to be amazing. So we're going to have 2 Brazilians in our midfield next season. That is great. Willock, for me, has improved and is good. For me, he's still got something to prove, though, if I'm honest. I think I want to see him consistently hit a high level. Shelvey's done well, but I don't know if you really are trying to push your level up. Maybe this is the time when you make the tough decision and you say, thank you for the work you've done, John Joe, but now is the time where we bring in someone better and we replace him with better. And I think next season I'd fully expect to see Joe Linton, Bruno and someone new come in to be that central 3. And I think Willock would be more of a squad player, but a good one, but that's fine. I think the likes of Almiron will go. I think there's pretty much an open secret at this point that he'll be on his way. And I think he's had his chance. he's sort of proven he can't cut it. Maybe he hasn't had the opportunities in a sense, but this season. But I like Miggy, but I won't be that sad when he goes. To be honest, that's just how I feel. And then you've kind of looking at wingers, and I think Fraser's done really well. I would kind of expect us to sign someone higher level even than that, though. I think so. I wouldn't be surprised to see some kind of winger come in. Obviously, Saint-Maximin as well in the squad is a fantastic player you want to keep hold of, and you want to really see what he can do in a better team as well. So that's exciting for me. But yeah, again, Fraser, he might stick around for another year or two as a squad player, but I would expect us to go out and buy someone who is just a little bit better on the wing. If we really want to push on to where we think we want to be, you've got to be ruthless, even though you like these players and they're doing a good job. And then up front, that's the big one. That is absolutely priority number one for me in the summer, is buying 2 good strikers and having Wilson and Wood as backups. Then you've got 4 good strikers in the club, and I think that's what we'll do. And I think the big signing of the summer will be a striker, and it needs to be someone who's going to come in and score 20 goals a season. That's not easy to find, but we have the resources. And as a Premier League club, Newcastle United is a very exciting project and is attractive to players. So I can see us buying someone really good up front. I don't know who that'll be. Maybe I'll make a video about that in the future when I've kind of got my head around transfer targets and that kind of thing. But at the moment, I don't know who that would be. But yeah, so that's kind of my areas are central defence, a winger, probably another central midfielder, and 1 or 2 strikers. That's what I think. So I think probably 5 players overall in the summer, and yeah, a few on the way out, and the ones that currently getting a lot of game time, some of them will drop and become our squad players. That's my opinion. What do you think? I'd love to know what you think. Let me know in the comments below. Do you agree with the areas that I think need improving the most in our squad, or do you think I've got it wrong and that there's another area of need that I've missed? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you really soon for another video.